my dating apps went from being dry to exploding. I mean, of course, you can blink. Once my coochie was installed, girl, woo, child, baby, I don't know whether the kitty cat has a scent or what, but girl, this is so chaotic. You fine, but there's a lot of other fine men out here. Stand on business, girl. Stand firm on what it is that you are looking for. That's my man. No, girl, yes, welcome to womanhood. Like, it's crazy over here. Does he like me? Is he lying? Am I pretty enough? Girl, you don't need a man. But what is this feeling? You're beautiful, confident, unstoppable. But why didn't he call me? I hate this. This isn't easy, but they always said it wouldn't be easy. As I embark on my dating journey for the first time as the most authentic and evolved version of myself in my late 30s, I unlock new vaults within me, unleashing new emotions, challenging me to lean into vulnerability like I never have before. Balancing my need to control with my need to take risks has been the most complex mental battle that I've ever experienced. Companionship is something that I've craved for a very long time, daydreaming and imagining how a healthy relationship would enhance my life. What it would look like, feel like, taste like. Girl, you know I can't be serious for too long, but let's discuss. Hey love bugs, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, hi, my name is Christiana and welcome. So let's hop right into it. You heard, I'm starting a little new thing. I'm a writer. I do enjoy writing and I do enjoy expressing my feelings, and I haven't really been doing that. I've been doing it on a personal level for the past maybe few weeks, just to help me work through my emotions and my feelings. I've been talking about my emotions and feelings a lot lately, and I think that's because I've really been tapping into vulnerability. I have a video coming soon about that, so we're going to deep dive into vulnerability, specifically through the lens of a Black trans woman and my experiences. But until then, we are going to talk about my experiences with dating as a Black trans woman. And I know there's a lot of videos out there about it. Very matter of fact, very detailed, some of them can be a little vulgar, a little detailed. I'm not that kind of girl. Sorry. Like, I want to talk about it from a more emotionally intelligent, vulnerable place in terms of my experiences. Just as I've transitioned and as I've learned to love myself and become confident with the woman that I am, I think that dating has really changed for me as a trans woman. So just kind of want to talk that out a bit while I throw on a face. I have things to do today. So originally I was going to make this a whole little theme, like a whole little, like, let's talk about dating, let's talk about the man, let's talk about those things while we use. I'm curating a little baggie of products for myself for like a weekender, overnight kind of situation if I do find myself in that predicament. I mean, we're all grown here, okay? So we all know you have moments in which you may find yourself not at your house, and I need to have my products. I need to have I just like to be prepared. I'm a type A girly, okay? I like to be prepared. So I have a bag of products that I don't necessarily use regularly anymore, but that I love, tried and true. So I had enough makeup where I could split it up into my everyday, which I have here. That's what we'll be putting on today because I have to host the open house today, baby, and I cannot be looking a mess. So I need to make sure that I'm comfortable with how my face looks when I finish. These products, because I haven't curated a specific look, it's just products that can create a whole face. I'm not so certain what I'm going to look like, so I don't want to play with that today. So let's get into the face and let's get into this conversation because we're going off the cuff again. For anyone that's new here, that's what we do when we sit down and we do our makeup. We're gonna call these trans girl chats and makeup. I come up with a new name every single day. I mean, I think that is my brand, my aesthetic, because I'm trying to curate cute little segments, cute little series, have little playlists, and I can't come up with a consistent name to save my life. We're calling this one Trans Girl and Chit Chat. Yeah, that's what we're gonna call this one. And we're gonna talk about dating. Now, I know everyone's experience is different with dating because we all have different preferences, different things that we're looking for. I think relationships are complex. Some of us want monogamy. That's me. I'm a monogamous girl. But I also do acknowledge and understand that there are people who are in other types of relationships, polyamorous relationships, and everything in between that is available for you to explore. I think that you should explore whatever you're feeling. I'm not a person to tell you that because I'm a monogamous girl that you should be a monogamous girl too. That's not how we roll over here. We let people live and do the things that is best for them. So that is my advice on that front. I knew from a long time ago that I am a monogamous girly. Oh, and for the new girls, my returning people, understand that this is chaotic. I'm putting the makeup on, so this is not necessarily a makeup tutorial. This is just, honestly, I think what it is this is something for me to do. Like, it's like a nervous kind of thing maybe, and I'm not really necessarily nervous to talk to you all on the camera, but it's just something for me to occupy my hands with and to multitask, because as a type A girly with a long to-do list, I wanted to shoot this video, but I also need to put my face on. So the makeup is kind of accompanies the conversation. I will have all the information for everything that I plop on this face down below in the description box. It's curated beautifully over on Bendable. I'll pop up what that is. It's basically a one-stop shop place where I curate routines, different, morning skincare, evening skincare, current makeup obsessions, affordable makeup obsessions. I curate little lists over there based on, different themes. So you can go over there, you can explore that, you can click the links, shop that way. I also will probably provide links down below in the description box that will take you directly to a specific product. If you know, like, girl, I want that primer, boom, you can click the link down below and go directly to the primer. Some of the links at both places in the description box and on the website are affiliate links, so just keep that in mind. If you shop from there, purchase, I will get a little small commission. Thank you in advance. But yes, so let's get into this conversation about dating, because it's definitely been something that's been a bit more prevalent for me. I knew that I was ready. I knew that I was ready to start exploring dating because I feel like I've done a lot of the work that I needed to do to position myself to be ready to date. But girl, when I tell you, dating is a whole new beast. Like, as a trans woman, I feel like by me being authentically myself now, I feel like the stakes are a bit higher. When I was dating before I started transitioning, I never really felt like I connected with the dating space and my partners in a way that I felt was meaningful. I've always had a desire and a thirst for companionship, so that has never been something that I've questioned. Like, I always knew I wanted to have a partner from a very young age. I knew that I liked boys differently than I liked girls, but as a kid, I just never really, as I shouldn't have, I never really could conceptualize that in terms of, relationship. As a kid, I was a kid, and I just knew that I felt a little different around boys than I did around girls. Like, around girls, I felt like we're friends, we're cute, let's hang out. But I never really felt anything different in the sense of feeling like she's cute. It's more like, ooh, she's cute, girl, where'd you get that from kind of situation. So I always knew from a very young age that I liked boys differently. Then as the hormones started, I knew that, it's not alike. I'm attracted to boys, and then as an adult, men. But I have to say I was a late bloomer in that department in general. I talked about it in my transition video. I'm gonna link that here, where I talked about my transition journey. You can get all the tea on that in terms of my childhood and all that stuff, but we talking about dating, girl. So I think that dating has always been something that I felt not really connected with, in the sense that I would ever find anything meaningful or impactful in the dating space, because I always just felt a bit disconnected. Little did I know that disconnect was largely due to me not dating the right people. And it's impossible to date the right person when you aren't yourself. So here I am dating gay men and trying to figure out, like, why the heck are none of these relationships working? As I've said in previous videos, I believe in my transition journey video, aesthetically speaking, I can find any man attractive. Like, if you possess certain physical qualities, or even if it's a certain personality trait, but there's a difference in the energy of someone who is a man that's attracted to men. And I think that I struggled in a dating space because I was in a dating space with men attracted to men. Sometimes they were attracted to feminine men, but me being a woman and not even fully realizing or conceptualizing that, I never was giving off the energy needed to build a substantive kind of relationship with any of these men. I mean, of course, you can boink. Like, I mean, we're animalistic in that sense that, you know, we all have needs to be fulfilled, and they vary widely based on the person in terms of, you know, people's libido, people's sexual desires and fantasies and things like that. So, you know, that's individualistic to each person, but you can get it in with someone and not be fully attracted to that person in a meaningful way other than physically. I call those kind of connections or kind of attractions transactional. Like, we are attracted to each other, maybe in ways that we can't even fully conceptualize and explain, and we're going to explore that sexually. And people do that every day. I mean, raise your hand if you have been intimate with someone that you knew it was going absolutely nowhere, but you had a need to fulfill, and that person could fulfill that need. Yeah. So it's not uncommon. But fast forwarding now to me, a trans woman, comfortable in my skin, really looking at myself in the mirror and seeing the person that I always knew was there, you know? Now the stakes are higher, girl. Now it's like, ooh, I'm out in this dating market and I'm looking at people and the veil is off. They are seeing the true me, and I made a vow and a commitment to myself to pour myself into this space, pour the authentic version of myself into the space and see what happens. You know, for so long, I didn't have the opportunity to just date and be comfortable with myself in a way that I felt like I would have a meaningful result. So I said, now you do. So now let's do it. And it's been interesting because I think with the vulnerability knob turned up to max, I've seen myself feel things that I just haven't felt as intensely ever before. I think the closest experience that I've had to feeling some of the feelings that I'm feeling now is with my very first ex. And I think that was because, again, the stakes were high and I was really dialed into my vulnerability in that particular situation, because that ex is someone that is one of the very first people that I came out to. So I think that there was a sense of connection, and came out. When I say came out, I mean the first time. I came out as a gay man the first time. So there was a certain level of connection to him because of that. And I feel like that really made me feel like, oh, this is my person, because like I felt really comfortable enough to like divulge that information to you and feel, I've never really felt vulnerable. I've never really felt comfortable to be vulnerable with anyone else before that, on that level. So I was like, oh, great. This is my man for life. This is my man. No, absolutely not. And it took a long time for me to realize that. Let me tell you something about me. Baby, I am very passionate. Pisces crew, clock in down below. Water sign crew, clock in down below. We are very passionate people. One sec. Sorry about that. We are very passionate. We are a very passionate group. Okay, so we do everything very, very intensely. And yeah, I'd say in all of my connections, even ones that I felt like may not go anywhere, I felt like I still give. I just cannot. One sec. Ooh, girl, sorry. I'm a working woman, girl. I got stuff, people calling, things going on. But yeah, I actually have an open house today. So I'm preparing for that and just connecting with the listing agent because I'm just hosting, hoping to pick up some clients. But y'all don't care about that. Y'all want to get back to dating. So the stakes are high now, girl. The stakes are extremely high as I am now in my final form. Okay, let's take it to Pokemon. Okay, we have evolved and we're in the final form. And now there's a lot at stake. I really am invested. And I've never really been invested in the dating space before. It's been, that's not the brush I want. It's been interesting dating. So I'd say that I have dated a few men since I've been in this final form. Let's rewind back a little bit. So when I first made the commitment to be unapologetically myself and realized that I was trans, right? Let's go back to that. Let's go back to that moment. Okay, we're talking 2021. We are at the height of the pandemic. I have the realization that I am trans. Mind you, this was maybe 4 or 5 months after my dad passed away. So unfortunately, I never was able to share with my dad my most authentic self. I think I did dabble in femininity quite a bit, especially in his last year, from the time that we were confined in the house for the pandemic until he passed away. I heavily presented feminine, more than I ever had in my life. And we had a ritual where we would go and get coffee on Sunday mornings. That was our time. We would just talk about life in general. And I think that there were a lot of times in those trips and in those conversations where I would allude to me feeling like I'm getting closer and closer to my authentic self in terms of presenting extremely feminine, which is gender expression, but also just learning things about myself and learning things to further clarify who I am, right? So I think that he was beginning to get that impression, but I never actually was able to tell him in the way that I told my mom that I'm a trans woman. So that's something that can be a bit unsettling for me, from time to time when I think about it, but it is what it is. I can't rewrite history, change things. I have no regrets, but I do wish that he got to know this version of me. And girl, I'm not staying on topic, but to the people who already, the ride or dies, they already know that I'm chaotic. But we'll get back to the dating. So we're in 2021. I freshly come out as a trans woman. I go to all of my dating apps and I literally switch everything over. And when I tell you, my dating apps went from being dry to exploding. If you had this experience, trans girls, comment down below. If your dating life changed significantly when you went from however you identified before to your new identity, I'll keep it broad. I went from being a gay man to a trans woman, but I know everyone's journey is not that way. I know a lot of trans girls that is their journey, but not always. There are plenty of people who go from just being a hetero cis man to a trans woman, or a hetero cis woman to a trans man, you know, or a hetero cis anything to a non-binary individual. Just let me know your experience down below, and that initial moment where you made the switch and you clocked in as your new identity. How did your dating life change immediately in that moment? For me, it went ballistic in terms of the level of interest in me. And I talked about it with a lot of my friends. It was kind of insane. I mostly have girlfriends. I don't have a lot of male friends. So, and a lot of them are cis women, heterosexual. But I do have some other friends as well, like in the LGBTQ community. But I specifically talk to a lot of my cis women, hetero friends to talk about that experience. And they were like, oh, girl, yes, welcome to womanhood. Like, it's crazy over here, okay? Like, the way that my mom describes it, and it's been kind of ringing true in my experiences, is that, you know, a lot of times culturally in our society, men are kind of taught from a young age to hunt, right? So they're on the prowl. They're looking for that partner, right? And women are taught to be picked. So you kind of just hang back and you just kind of let men approach you, and you just explore that until a man tells you that, okay, yeah, you're what I want, and then you're picked, and then great. I mean, obviously women do a lot of things to position themselves to be picked. So it's like, okay, I gotta like look better than all these other girls. I have to do things better than all these other girls because I want to get picked. But when you throw in the trans experience of it all into that mix, it gets even more complex, especially if you are passable and if you are into masculine men. I mean, masculine men come in all different shapes and sizes, right? Masculine men can be heterosexual, bisexual, pansexual, gay. But if you are a trans woman and you are into masculine men that are into women, so that means they would need to be either hetero, bisexual, pansexual. There are other plethora, demi, all that stuff, but not gay, basically. So, yeah, adding that layer of transness into the experience was complex, because you now have men who are heterosexual looking for women, and if you are passable, sometimes they may not know that you are trans. And the disclosure of that, the vulnerability of disclosing that time and time again, basically to basically feel as if you are subpar to cis women. When these men are like, oh, ew, you're trans? Like, nah, I'm not into that. I'm good. Like, no, thank you. Especially if you are pre-op, there are a lot of men that are just like, nah, sis, I'm not really into that. I'm into women with coochies. So, and that's what I thought you were. So, hate to break it to you, but I'm not into it. And you go through that cycle over and over and over again. In my dating life, I went through that cycle over and over and over again. As someone I'm not attracted to just hetero men, to be honest with you. Like, I personally love bisexual men. I feel like they're a lot more open-minded. Bisexual, pansexual men, they're a lot more open-minded. I find that people who identify as straight or hetero, specifically men, are a bit closed-minded in terms of like life experiences in general, in terms of just like, experiences in terms about lifestyle experiences, sexual experiences. It's very like straight and narrow, you know? It's not really like explorative. And I like someone that is a bit more open-minded. It makes me feel comfortable. It makes me feel safe as a non-cis woman, as a trans woman. I feel safer knowing that I'm with someone that is not narrow-minded. So yeah, dating apps popped off. Lots of engagement with men, but lots of just feelings of inadequacy. Lots of feelings of inadequacy. And there was still a sense of inadequacy that I felt, in the sense that I am moving closer to what I want to look like or who I am, but I'm not there yet, because at the beginning of my HRT journey, I still hadn't seen a lot of development. I still was pre-op, and I always knew that my sexual organs were a place of dysphoria for me, like a strong place of dysphoria for me. So I always knew that I wanted to explore the option of bottom surgery, but I just never thought I'd be able to afford it, or that it would be anything that would be an option for me. But I always knew that I wanted to explore it at least. I wanted to see if it was something that I could do, because I felt like once I underwent bottom surgery, that I would be exactly what I envisioned myself looking like in the mirror, essentially. So we did that. I dipped and dabbled and talked to guys. I mean, we weren't really in a place in our society. Where is my setting spray? I mean, I know, never mind. We weren't really in a time and a place at that particular time where you could really, girl, I'd be forgetting to blend out and set this nose. Woo, child. This nose is going to be the death of me. Because girl, what? But anyway, this is so chaotic. My conversations when I do makeup, I might have to explore not doing this when I want to talk about something in depth, because girl, I cannot concentrate on two things at once. Like, what am I doing? What are we doing? But anyway, moving on. So once I tasted dating as a trans woman pre-op and at the beginning of my HRT journey, and saw that, oh, there's a different kind of desirability for me, but I am still projecting insecurity. I knew that I needed to do the work to remedy my insecurities and to prepare myself better for a dating experience. Now, my therapist was genius, because Miss Mamas had me, shout out to her if she sees the video, because I know she's been to the channel. She had me using dating apps as a part of my therapy. Like, it was helping me to be more vulnerable, stepping outside my comfort zone, talking to people that I may or may not have been comfortable talking to, and just seeing where things would go, right? She just challenged me to use the dating apps to become comfortable with myself and talking to men and learning what it is that you want, what it is that you need from a partner, right? Having different experiences with men, being treated a certain kind of way, and then learning like, that's not a way that I want to be treated kind of situation. So yeah, we did a lot of that, and it was very helpful in me having experiences, feeling certain feelings, and then being like, that's not what I want. And it helped me kind of compile a list of things that, yes, I need. No, I don't need. This is for me. This is not for me. So it was a great way for me to really dip my toe in the pool. Then I had to do the things for me to make myself feel better about being in this dating space, right? And that meant looking the part, feeling the part on the inside. So I did that. I set out on a journey for a couple years of just working on my mental, having consistent therapy sessions with my therapist, and then also booking the appointment for a consult for bottom surgery. And baby, when I tell you that process was fast, girl, it was fast. I literally went in for a consultation in February or March around my birthday last year, had surgery in July. So it was literally like a 5-month situation from the time that I sat down with my doctor, I will put my doctor's information down below for anyone that's interested and wants to check out his website. My experience was phenomenal. Maybe I'll do a video about that whole entire experience. I didn't record it because I wasn't actively like a creator at that time. I kind of wish I did, but my experience was a smooth one. I have no horror stories or anything like that, but I mean, I'd have experiences with that experience that I could share. So maybe I will. Let me know if you want to know about that experience down below in the comments. But yeah, fast process. Once my coochie was installed, girl, I became a brand new person. I don't know what happened with me, but all of a sudden, like, you couldn't tell me nothing. And I think by projecting that energy, my dating life really changed. It really changed. So let's get into that, because this is the juiciest part of the video. It almost was an immediate shift. As soon as that happened, baby, I don't know whether the kitty cat has a scent or what, but girl, it just seemed like all of a sudden men were like magnets to me. And I really wasn't sure what to make of that, what to take of that. I was just like, I felt like the same person, but they're treating me so much differently. Like, I don't know what's happening. And I realized that I'm projecting something different. I now am projecting a more secure, more confident, more just a happier, more content version of myself that was attractive to men. And it's essentially a lot of the feedback that I've received from men and continue to receive from men, that I am confident, that I am intelligent, and that I'm beautiful. But nothing changed really. I mean, you know, the hormones did do some things, okay? I did learn how to put my makeup on and not look like a clown, but I didn't really like change that much in terms of like how I looked or my approach to dating. I think it just literally had to do with me doing the things that I needed to do to become the most evolved, beautiful version of myself. And I think that's the biggest takeaway from this in terms of navigating dating as a trans woman. If you don't believe that you're that girl, no one is going to believe that you're that girl. These men will treat you like whatever energy you're projecting. So if you're projecting a lot of insecurities, they will take advantage of that. If you are projecting a certain sense of neediness, it will either turn them off or it will turn them on at how easy it is to get you to do what it is they want you to do. So you have to advocate for yourself. And the first step in doing that is to do the work up front. You have to know who you are, what you want, and you have to stand firm on that. You cannot say, oh, but this man is giving me attention, so let me just, he's not everything that I'm looking for, but he's giving me attention, I feel good. So, I mean, if that's the game you want to play, then you can do it, but I guarantee you, baby, you're not going to be happy. You're not going to feel good about yourself at the end of it. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be really frustrating, because I think that when you settle, the expectation is still there, but it's never going to be met because you've settled. So you have to stand firm, stand on business, girl. Stand firm on what it is that you are looking for. If you're looking for casual encounters, great, keep it cash. But if you're looking for something that's a bit more, that has a bit more depth, stand on business. That's what you want. Stand on that business and make sure that that's what you get. And I think that as I began to move about in a way where I know that I'm that girl and I know what I'm worth, and it's just like, you fine, but there's a lot of other fine men out here. So if you aren't hitting the mark that I need you to hit, then we're gonna keep it moving. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't become a prisoner of one fine man. Girl, the thing that we have on our side, if you are a trans woman that dates men, is that there's always another man. Yeah, let me say that again into the camera. There's always another man, girl. Men are plenty. I know, it seems like there's so many more women that we're competing, But baby, I've never had trouble with finding another man. I just haven't. And you won't either. You gotta stand on business. And you have to make sure that you are getting what you need from a situation. Now, I'm not telling you to be selfish. I'm not telling you to be unreasonable. I love that I bought this and then I realized that on TikTok that this bad boy is going viral. This Colossal, I was like, oh, the girls, it's all the rage. And I bought it because I thought the tube was cute, and that Maybelline is that girl for mascara. Like, that's the reasons that I purchased. I've never had a Maybelline mascara product that disappointed, so she's my go-to. But I saw this tube, I saw the wand, and I was just like, oh, yeah, Maybelline? Yes, ma'am. Yes, please. Look at that. Girl. Ain't nothing like a good lash, girl. Lashes really will have you out here seducing the men. It really will. But this video was just so chaotic. I don't even know if I'm gonna post this video, or if I post this video, if it's gonna be about dating. I don't know, girl. We just getting ready and chatting. This is what I get. Sometimes I can go off the cuff and it works out. Sometimes I go off the cuff and it's just chaos. And I'm just left with people being like, what did I just watch? But I just need to throw a little lip gloss on for now. We're not gonna do full lip yet. Too early. Plus I have a meeting in 30 minutes, so I need to hurry it up. But yes, that's my thoughts on dating. But yes, that's my thoughts on dating as a trans woman. My particular experiences, I am currently dating someone right now. It's fresh, it's early, but so far it's been pretty good, pretty healthy, and I'm content. I'm content. And I think the evolution or the journey of my dating life, you can see clear moments of me learning. Do I have something on my lip? Something feel crunchy, girl. My lip. Oh, yeah, I got something nasty. But you can see the difference in my dating experiences based on the work that I do on myself. So as you do the work on yourself, you see how you move differently in the dating world. So that is my biggest piece of advice. If you are trans and you're looking to date, make sure that you've done the work. Oh, I didn't do my, girl, I didn't put no blush on my eyelash. I mean on my eyelids. Because that's the kind of, that's my everyday, yes. So that's my advice. Girl, I don't even know if this is going to be a long form video. I might chop up some of this stuff and make it short form, but it's giving chaos and I don't know. But if it's long form, hi, I'm glad that you followed along and made it to this point. We're going to go throw our outfit on now, and then we're going to plop some curls in this head. I think I'm going to keep it up down, but maybe just like plop some curls on. So let's go do that. Ooh, maybe I could just do a cute scarf moment like this, but like a prettier one with the up down. That would be cute. Let's go do it.